And in Michigan, every time you make one step forward, you get 3 steps back. It was always this power of energy of things. You know, I always call it 5 Great Lakes, and then you had the energy of light and darkness kind of like battling over you, you know. And so I had gotten my taxes, and I had bought my ticket and stuff for Colorado, and I had already got my apartment, and everything was planned perfectly, down to my apartment where I was on 10th and Logan. The manager put me right in front of him. You know, apartment was set. Everything was smooth. And if there's any problems, then you know it's not right. But everything went smoothly. So I was waiting for this one part of my state taxes, and the Spirit said, don't wait. Because if you don't leave now, you will never leave, and you will die here. And I said, okay. So I ended up on a plane with a round-trip ticket, $15, and 5 pieces of luggage. And when I said that I rode on the wings of the Spirit, I literally rode on the wings of the Spirit. I actually visualized myself holding on. And I realized that I was holding on to Delete, because I kept getting this image of the women of the issue of blood. And she said, if I could only touch your wing, only touch the bottom of your garment. And a lot of people don't know, and I didn't know at that time either, that the bottom of Abiya's garment was his zigzags, was his wings on his tallit. And if she can just touch that, she'll be healed. And so I'm holding on to the tallit, and I was flying. Little did I know, it was also a vision that I had prior, that I was part of the eagle, and I was part of the eagle, separate of the eagle, but it was all entwined together. It was like, it's hard to explain, but it was like a 3/4 chord. And it was coming this way, and it was this beautiful young woman that was standing on a high plateau in grass, and she was looking down in the valley, and she was standing there, and she had these long ponytails, and she says, the way of my people will be no more. The way of my people will be no more. And she was a Native American. Well, as I'm flying on the eagle, but also part of the eagle, toward her, it was a white eagle with silver, toward her, I looked dead into her eyes as I got close, and I screamed and hollered, oh my God, that's me! Because I saw the soul, I saw through her eyes. And as soon as I did, I woke up, and this was doing all that same time. So when I was ordered to leave with the $15 round-trip ticket and 5 pieces of luggage, I knew I was coming somewhere, I just didn't know what. Well, it was not a problem. George picked me up at the airport. I lived in Longland for a while, and here I am. Things has been good. Very, very good. My promises, everything has happened. That's just some of the amazing stories people want to tell me to tell. I'd rather go to my friends next week, because me and Jody have shared a lot together. Me and Jody, Jody and I believe that we know that we've been together before. And she used to have this, well, she used to work, not really have, the paperback bookstore that used to be on Market Lawrence, right where the Cheesecake Factory is now. There used to be a use or a share of, paperback book, romantic novels or whatever, and all kinds of novel stories. And that's how I met Jody. Matter of fact, it's amazing how I met any of my friends. We walk in and we go to chatting, and we think we've been, y'all been knowing each other for years. You wouldn't know any different. That's just how I guess I approach most of the world. And I guess it's been like that since I was a child. The only problem is being a child and approaching other kids didn't necessarily reciprocate with that. I was the only child. My mother could do things for me. So I ended up a lonely child a lot of times. To the point sometimes I had to even change the way I dressed just to blend in with people. I got to the point one time, you remember, Mommy, that I dressed in black and navy blue all the time. And downgraded myself in dressing just because I couldn't wear my, other things. So I figured like navy blue skirt, navy blue boots, navy blue or black would blend in, and they wasn't even satisfied with that because my navy blue skirt or my navy blue blazer looked too good. I don't know, they're just crazy people. So when I got older, I could not relate to anybody my own age. So all my friends end up anywhere from, I think the youngest of my friends, close to my age, is maybe 5 years older than me. Everybody else is 15 years older than me. 5 to 15 years older. And Mildred and I was just talking about that the other day. I said, Mildred, I'm the baby. Because they're all in their 60s and stuff. I'm like, I'm the baby. She said, you certainly are. I say, how did y'all get along with this little pipsqueak running around and I'm just a baby? She said, because you were mature for your age. She said, you can be up there with the best of us. We had some fun.
Yeah, you did.
So it was just like that. And that's somebody that's been 30 years, and
Rebecca Joe,
huh?
What about Rebecca Joe?
Rebecca Joe, oh my gosh, my
friend.
childhood friend. She was 4 years older than me. She was 2 years. She was having her sweet 16, and I was 14, and I went to her sweet 16. Or was I 12? No, I was 12. Because grandmama died. And I was 12 when grandmama died, and Rebecca was 16. And I went to her sweet 16. And nobody could tell the difference. I look good then.
You look good now?
My uncle had bought me this beautiful flannel. And I had a white fur. And then my grandmother, she had died, but she had these pearls, these beautiful pin pearls. And Mama had pulled my hair up and put them in there. And it's amazing. It was the same day of the funeral. And I had my little heels on. And we went, and it was a beautiful evening. I remember somebody tried to criticize the fact that I was going to a sweet 16 the very day that I had buried my grandmother. And I think half the house turned on me and says, wait a minute, she's a young girl. She has a right. She doesn't need to be here moaning. Doing what? I mean, you're not doing nothing moaning. She loved her grandmother. Her grandmother wouldn't want her to be sitting around there. And it was fun. I had a nice time. I had support that came my way whenever I needed Mom. You know what my mom used to do when I was a kid? Now, this woman, like I told you, she was amazing. I don't know how she did it. I still don't know how she did it. I'm still trying to do that myself. Mama would go, and she would go to work. She would take care of house. House is immaculate. We had 9 different houses worth of furniture. 9 complete houses. Mama would give them away, and she would get a whole new set of house again. And it wasn't vain. It was just the time. I mean, and when Mama said to get used to living, and having, we had secretary desks and Oriental stuff and all kinds of crazy stuff, okay? And it was just the way we lived. But Mama used to do something even more amazing. She would go, I would come home from school and go in my room, and I had a white room, hardwood floors, white, even white fluffy rugs, immaculately white. I mind you, immaculate. You couldn't find a speck of dust nowhere. And it had to be stayed like that. Mommy was particular, okay? Anyway, she would lay the whole bed with pretty dresses. I remember this one time